On average, there are over 1.8 billion photos uploaded online every single day. That means there are over 675 billion photos created every year. With all the social media sites for sharing and storing, it makes sense to want to know how to save, store, and get images off of social media. When looking at family genealogy, family members posting old photos for Throwback Thursdays, or even family records posted on databases, it can be incredibly helpful in research and creating your family's story to have these photos and documents. But sometimes locating this information again can be incredibly difficult or even impossible. The practice of immediately saving and retaining photos is incredibly helpful for research, sharing stories, or even getting a cool new background on your device. Screenshotting and downloading are the two easiest ways to save these photos and documents, but there are a few basic things to cover before we get into saving the images themselves. First, it is important to note that on whatever device you are using, the images you save will be saved to that device. You can transfer these images to your laptop or a hard drive or even send them to friends and family. But initially, the images will be stored on the device that you are using to capture the image or document. Second, we are going to cover two main operating systems today with 4 devices. We are going to look at Apple software on an iPhone and on a Mac computer. The iPhone functions the same way as an iPad, and the Mac desktop computer functions the same as a MacBook or any other Apple laptop. We are also going to look at Android operating systems on a phone, as well as Windows 7 on a laptop that will function the same way as Windows 10 on your PC. If there is something that is special about your device, or you get a new device and you aren't sure how to save images, the best way to find out quickly is to Google your device and the word screenshot or download photo. You'll immediately get answers with step-by-step explanations on how to screenshot and download these images and documents. So let's go ahead and get started with Facebook on an iPhone, an Android, a Windows PC, and a Mac. So the first thing you're going to do is open up your iPhone and go to Facebook. Once you open Facebook, you scroll through and find a photo that you like, and then you click on the photo to make it larger. And if you click on it again, it gets rid of all the text at the bottom. You then have 2 options. You can either hold down on it, and you'll get this menu. The top option is Save Photo. Click that, and it will save. At the top, it'll say Photo Saved. Or you can press your Home button and your Lock button here on the side. Press those at the same time. It will flash, and then you can swipe to the left to save it. To check, just go to Photos, and there are our 2 photos. A reminder that your screenshot will take an image of the entire screen, so that will include the black background, but you can always click it, hit your edit button at the top, and you can crop it down.
Okay, let's go ahead and go to Facebook on an Android, and look, there's a cute cat. So we are going to click that and click it again so the text goes away, and we're going to swipe. So swiping brought it up, and it actually is up here now, so I can take that screenshot and open, and I can edit and take it down to the actual picture and save. And there we go, a lovely picture of a cat. So we have this lovely image here. Sorry you were rude to me, so now you get no hot dog. Kind of adore that. I'm gonna go ahead and click it, and we are going to right click and save image as, and I am going to call this hot dog. And I can choose where it's going to be saved. We'll leave it at the desktop for now, although I don't recommend that because you'll have a very messy desktop. And hit save. And now we have it. It shows up down here, so I can pull it up again. And if I wanted to, I could do edits within here. But it looks pretty good. There's not really anything I would change. So I'm gonna go ahead and X out of there.
So the first thing we're gonna do is open up Facebook. Here's the page. And let's say you see something that you really like. Love some Rachel Ray. So you're gonna click on it again, and you're going to open up the photo to make it much larger. And there are a couple ways now that you can save this image. The first thing you can do is right click with your mouse, and there is an option right here that says Save Image As. If you click that, from the top now you can rename it. Let's name it Rachel. And then you can pick where you want to save the image. Documents, over here you can find it in your Dropbox, in applications, wherever you'd like to store it. The other thing you can also do is down here on Facebook there is an option, and if you click that it says download. Now just like on the PC laptop, downloading is going to be your clearest image. It will show up down in your downloads, or you can simply click the bottom of your screen and it opens up the image you've saved. And now on to Instagram. The first thing you're going to do, open up your iPhone and go to Instagram. And once you open up Instagram, you can scroll and look for new photos. And once you find one that you like, make sure it's in the center of your screen. You're gonna press that home button down here at the bottom and your lock button on the side, and you will take a screenshot of it. You can click on that screenshot and it will actually open it up into your editing screen. You can then drag down to edit the photo, drag up from the bottom, and it edits as you go. And once you're happy with it, you just click your done button up top, and you'll have two options: save in photos or delete screenshot. You can save it in photos, and it's saved. Double check, go to photos, we'll click on all photos, and there at the bottom, there it is.
Okay, let's go to Instagram. And there is an interesting picture of food. We'll just go with that and swipe and edit immediately, because there's going to be the text. You can't just get the image. There's going to be editing no matter what you do with Instagram. Now I'm just going to take the image and leave the person's name off, which is probably not the nicest thing to do when stealing people's images. But I'm going to use it for personal use and not for anything else, so I'm not actually going to be infringing on their copyright. So we have this wonderful image and we want to save it. We're obviously not going to get the frame, and it's not as important as the image itself. Now with Instagram, you are not able to save the image just by right-clicking on it, like with other places online. You actually have to print screen. Now with print screen, there's sometimes different ways to do it depending on the keyboard. Some are the FN and print screen. Most of the time it's control print screen. You can look at the colors on your keyboard to see what it's going to be. Because if something is blue on this keyboard and then the keys up here are blue, then that's what it does. So you just make sure you look. So it is white, so I know it's the control. So I'm gonna go control, print screen, and then I'm gonna open up Paint. So Paint is this little icon down here. It literally looks like an artist's palette with a brush. So we're gonna open that and go up to Paste. And this is where I'm going to be able to make the edit of just pulling up that image. So I'm going to go to Select I'm going to just crop it so I have this lovely lady with the giant bow, and crop, and that works for me. And then I'm gonna go ahead and save as, and we're gonna call her Bow Lady, and I'm gonna put it on the desktop with my other image. And I can X out of there now.
First step, as always, go to your Instagram. And Instagram, as you've noticed, is a little bit tricky. You can't simply just right-click and save it. You do have to take a screenshot of it. So we can pick any of these. Let's take a picture of Preservation Week. So if you notice, if you right-click, it'll give you an option to save as. But if you save as, the format you're saving in here is a web page. It's not actually saving the image. So on a Mac, to screenshot, if you want to print screen the entire page, you can hit Shift Command 3, and you'll notice down here a complete screenshot of my entire image has been taken. This is everything my screen looks like. So you can see all my tabs open at the top, you can see the background behind the screen, but you can also see the image. You can definitely crop this image down, or you can take a partial screenshot. And to do this, it's simply Shift Command 4. Shift Command 4, and you'll notice that your mouse will change. It becomes a cross with a circle around it, and you can actually click and draw over the area that has the image you want. So I just want the image, I don't want this Instagram stuff. And once I click, it appears down here in my corner. I can open that up just by clicking on it, and I have just the image itself. From here, you can click Done, it'll save it into your downloads, and you have your image. And now we're going to go ahead and tackle Twitter. Again, we're going to go ahead and open up our iPhone. We're going to select Twitter, and you'll scroll through looking for all sorts of images. He's pretty cute. So we open up and we get these three dots up at the top. You can select those three dots and you'll get all sorts of choices to message and all your social media. But if you scroll down here, you'll see a Save Photo button. Click Save Photo. It'll pop up and tell you that it's saved. You can click your Home button, go back to Photos, and see that our furry little friend has been saved.
All right, let's go to Twitter on an Android. And look, there's a interesting picture of stairs. We're gonna click it again so the stuff disappears from the bottom. And so on this Android, we're going to swipe. And then automatically down at the bottom, it actually gives me the option to edit the photo immediately. So I can go ahead and save just the picture. And there we go. Let's take a look at Twitter. We want this image. It looks really cool. So instead of clicking the image to pull it out, we're just gonna right click on it, save image as, and I'm going to rename this just Lady and save it. And then I can open it from down below. And we have a nice clean image that we can use.
It's going to look a lot like Instagram. All of these social media sites don't make it very easy to download images. So we scroll through, we find an image we like. Here's one from Chateau de Versailles, and we'll go ahead and open it up. Now you notice there is text here at the bottom of the image. As soon as your mouse leaves the image, all of the text goes away. You have two options, like with Instagram. You can Shift Command 3 and get a screenshot of the entire page with that Shift Command 3, or you can Shift Command 4 and then you get your selection tool and you can select the image on your screen that you want to take a capture of. And once you open it, here's your image. no text at the bottom, and you've got the whole page, and then just click done and it will save that. I will note, make sure that your image is exactly how you want it on your screen. If this is popped up on your screen and you hit Shift-Command-4 to draw, you cannot get rid of this text down here, which can actually be very helpful if you'd like to include the text. And lastly today, we're going to look at saving photos and documents off of websites. This will work across any websites and any platform. Open up that iPhone. We're going to go to our internet browser. Here I'm on Genealogy Center. And this is a page of a Bible, and I have two options to save it. I can either hold down on the image and get that pop up at the bottom, select Save Image. I can also screenshot side and bottom here. I can click on that screenshot and I can immediately start editing it. Drag this down, drag this up, drag this over and over. And once I'm pleased with that, I can click done. And it'll give me options, save to photos or delete the screenshot. I want to go ahead and save it. We can click our home button, go back up into photos, and there's the save photo, and there's the screenshot that's been edited.
Okay, what if you find something fantastic on Ancestry? So I happen to have Ancestry and have the lovely app, and let's just go to this person, and I can click on the source, and let's go to that census. I can view it and say, oh, this looks fantastic. Even though I won't ever be able to read that tiny print, I want a copy. So I'm going to swipe and swipe and edit and take it down to the actual document. Save. Now, the one good thing is, once I actually open it, I can zoom in. And because it's rather decent, I can still kind of read it. It's slightly pixelated, but it's not too terribly bad. If you're going to have to use your phone for research, this is probably one of the best ways to do it. You're probably better off to take pictures like this rather than taking a picture of a document. It's going to be harder to read no matter what. But the option is there. You can also go into your Ancestry DNA and take screenshots of your ethnicity breakdown. Or find somebody else's. There we go. And let's go to the regions. Cool. And so we're gonna swipe this. There we go. And edit. We're just gonna take it down to that. And we still want the name up there because that's whose it is. So now we have, you also have to allow websites to be able to do that on some occasions. And there we go. We now have a nice image of the ethnicity breakdown. Okay, let's take a look at how to save something from a website. So we are taking a look at Ancestry because that is one of the most popular genealogy research ones. So we're just going to do a simple search here. I've already filled it all out, so I'm going to click search. And I'm going to click on this first one, and that is correct. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the view. Now, going to the view, we have the actual image. So Ancestry is interesting. A lot of people go straight to the print from here, but I find that you get a cleaner image if you go to download. And then from there, go into print or save, because downloading that image is really gonna give you a much clearer picture, and you're gonna be able to do a lot more with it. And then you can save as. And we'll say this is 1930, James Mullins. And save. So there we go. We already have that image saved. Now, if you're on a website that for some reason isn't giving you the option to actually download it or save it, let's say you just want this, you can still go and print screen and then go into Paint, paste, and then let's say you just wanted this piece of information to add to maybe a PowerPoint or a presentation, or if you wanted to put it into a book of some sort. So then you can crop it and then you have a nice clean image that you can use. Once we go up here to save, save as, and we're just going to call that a snip. And there we go. It has been saved and this can be used.
Now we're going to look at saving from a website. In this instance, I've selected Family Search. I've already done my search here for Virginia Pacheco. And we'll go ahead, this top one here, and you'll notice it does come with a document. Those of you who use Pinterest might notice that you get this little P save for Pinterest. That is not what we want. We want to actually click on the document to open it up. And you'll notice we have a couple options. We have an open in a new window option, a print option, a download option, and other tools. So the first thing you can do is immediately hit download. It will show up in your download bar at the bottom of your web browser. It will also show up in your download section in the bottom right. We'll open it here, and here's the full image. This is going to be your best quality image. Something else you can also do if you open it in a new window, you can do all sorts of manipulation to this. You can drag it around. You can zoom in if you only want a specific person's name, for example, like Joseph Cabral right here. You can either print the entire thing and then edit it later, or you can do that Shift Command 4, and I get my selection tool here, and I can highlight if I just want a little bit of information and his name and maybe his wife Mary. Then I can just select those two all the way across my screen. Remember, it will end where the view ends, so I'm only going to get this far, but then it will just take an image of the two of them. It's down here, and sure enough, there is Joseph and his wife Mary selected out of that entire census.
So those are the main ways of saving photos and images off of various social media sites, various websites, as well as on various devices. Each device can be a little bit different and a little bit tricky, especially with new updates coming out. So don't be afraid to Google your device and screenshotting options or downloading options. And we thank you for coming tonight.